Wait, a mall in the Philippines just beat America's biggest shopping centers on multiple best of lists? I'm standing outside what locals call the Mall of Asia, and I'll be honest, I thought it was hype. I've been to Dubai Mall, Mall of America, Singapore's mega complexes. How different could this really be? But nothing prepared me for what I saw the moment I walked through those doors. That rush of air conditioning hits your face like stepping into another dimension. You look left, the corridor stretches so far you can't see the end. You look right, same thing. And straight ahead? A central atrium so massive it has its own weather system. I'm not exaggerating. I watched a kid's balloon float up and just disappear into the ceiling void. This place is 4.2 million square feet. To put that in perspective, that's bigger than 42 American football fields. Or another way to think about it, you could fit 7 Yankee stadiums inside this single building. I've spent the last decade visiting malls across 12 countries for stories like this. Dubai felt like walking through a jewelry box. Mall of America felt like a theme park with shopping attached. But this felt different. And over the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly why MOA might just be the most human mall on planet Earth, even if that's a controversial thing to say. Here's what nobody tells you about MOA until you're actually here. You physically cannot see it all in one day. I met Maria, a local teacher, in the food court on my second hour here. She comes to MOA 3 times a week, has been for 5 years. And she told me something that stopped me in my tracks. There are still stores I've never been to. Sometimes I'll take a different route and find a whole section I forgot existed. Think about that. Most American malls? You're done in 2 hours. You've seen every store, grabbed your Auntie Anne's pretzel, and you're out. Here, locals treat it like a small city they're constantly exploring. But the size isn't even the craziest part. See, when SM Prime Holdings opened MOA in 2006, they weren't just building a shopping center. They were building a climate refuge for a country where it's 95 degrees and humid 9 months a year. They were building a community hub for a culture that values tambe, hanging out with no particular agenda. And that philosophy led to features I've never seen in any Western mall. Let me break down the top 7 things that absolutely blew my mind. Number 7, the sheer variety of food options. I'm not talking about your typical food court with Panda Express and Sparrow. MOA has over 600 food establishments. 600! From street food stalls serving authentic Filipino dishes for $2 to high-end restaurants where you need reservations. I had breakfast at a local Pandesal bakery, lunch at a Japanese ramen spot that would hold its own in Tokyo, and dinner at a rooftop restaurant overlooking the bay. All without leaving the complex. The food density here is insane. Number 6, the Science Discovery Center. There's a full interactive museum inside this mall with planetarium shows, earthquake simulators, and exhibits that would cost you $30 admission in any American city. About $3. I watched kids who just finished shopping with their parents running through exhibits about space exploration and marine biology. Education and commerce existing in the same breath. Number 5, an Olympic-sized ice skating rink. In a tropical country. I watched families, parents in shorts and sandals, standing at the barrier watching their kids glide across ice while outside the temperature was literally hotter than Arizona in August. The contrast was surreal. The ice rink had this foggy, dreamlike quality, and every 10 minutes pop music would blast and they'd do a group skate. It felt like a winter wonderland dropped into Southeast Asia. But here's what got me. The rink wasn't just for entertainment. I talked to Coach Ramon, who's been training figure skaters here for 8 years. He told me 3 of his students have gone on to compete internationally. A mall ice rink producing Olympic hopefuls. That's when I realized this place operates on a completely different level. Number 4, an IMAX theater with seats that rival anything I've sat in at LA's premier theaters. We're talking full recline, personal screens, gourmet food service. But here's the kicker, a ticket costs about $8. In America you're paying $20 minimum for a way worse experience. I caught a screening of the latest Marvel film and the theater was packed on a Tuesday afternoon. Families, couples, groups of teenagers. Everyone treating the cinema like a living room they share with strangers. Number 3, an entire bayfront promenade that's technically part of the mall complex. You can walk from shopping for sneakers through an air-conditioned corridor and 30 seconds later you're standing on a waterfront watching the sunset over Manila Bay. There are street performers, food carts, couples on dates. It's like the mall dissolves into the city instead of being walled off from it. I spent an hour just sitting on a bench watching the sky turn from blue to orange to deep purple. Cargo ships drifted across the horizon. A guy was playing acoustic guitar nearby. People were flying kites. And I kept thinking, when's the last time I felt this relaxed at an American mall? Never. The answer is never. Number 2, a full concert arena that hosts everyone from K-pop groups to international DJs. I saw posters for acts that play Madison Square Garden. The arena holds 20,000 people. Imagine finishing your grocery shopping and then catching a world-class concert on your way out. But it's not just big-name acts. Local bands perform here. School recitals happen here. It's a legitimate cultural venue that happens to be attached to retail space. The line between shopping destination and civic institution is completely blurred. But number one is what made me completely rethink what a mall can be. A full chapel. Inside a shopping mall. And it was packed. I stood outside for about 10 minutes just watching. Families would stop mid-shopping trip, bags in hand, kids in tow, step inside, pray for 5 or 10 minutes, cross themselves, and then continue buying groceries like it was the most normal thing in the world. That's when it hit me. This isn't just a mall. It's a community center, a climate refuge, a cultural hub, and yes, a place to buy stuff, all wrapped into one experience. There's a 2023 study from the Asian Journal of Consumer Research that found Filipinos spend an average of 4 hours per mall visit compared to Americans' 1.5 hours. And it's not because shopping takes longer here. It's because malls in the Philippines serve a completely different purpose. Where we see consumption, they see connection. I wanted to understand this deeper, so I spent my 3rd hour just observing. Not shopping, not filming, just watching. I saw elderly groups doing their morning walk laps around the main corridor before stores even opened. Security guards told me this happens every single day. Seniors treating the mall like a park because it's safe, climate-controlled, and has benches every 50 feet. I saw college students camping out at coffee shops, laptops open, textbooks spread across tables, studying for exams in groups. The free Wi-Fi and air conditioning making MOA a better library than actual libraries. I saw young parents with strollers just letting their toddlers run around the wide open spaces, not buying anything, just existing. In America, if you're in a mall and not shopping, security starts eyeing you. Here, existing is the point. The mall accommodates life, not just transactions. But here's where the story gets complicated, and this is the part nobody wants to talk about. Critics say this entire mall culture is destroying small businesses and traditional Filipino markets, the pay-link system that's been the backbone of local commerce for centuries. I met Rico in the food court. He's 52, and for 20 years he sold fresh fish at a traditional street market about 5 miles from here. In 2019, he moved his operation to MOA's wet market section, a sprawling food vendor area inside the mall. My income tripled, he told me. My kids go to better schools now. But he paused and I saw something in his eyes. But I miss the mornings. At the Paylink I knew everyone. The other vendors were my friends for 20 years. Here everything is faster. More money, yes, but less life. And that's the tension, isn't it? Progress always has a price. The air conditioning, the safety, the economic opportunity, all of it comes at the cost of something older, something communal that can't be measured in revenue per square foot. I asked Rico if he'd go back if he could. He laughed, a sad kind of laugh. Go back to what? Half those vendors are gone now. Young people don't shop at Paylinks anymore. This is the future whether I like it or not. That stuck with me. This is the future whether I like it or not. So I decided to visit one of the remaining traditional markets the next morning before coming back to May. The contrast was shocking. The Paylink was vibrant, chaotic, alive in a way that felt ancient. Vendors shouting prices, the smell of fresh produce and fish, everything open air, hot, humid, real. But it was also half empty. Stalls that used to buzz with customers now sat quiet. An older woman selling mangoes told me business dropped 60% in the last 5 years. People want air conditioning now, she said. Can't blame them. I bought mangoes from her anyway, paid a little extra, and she smiled at me like she knew I was just a tourist trying to feel less guilty about liking them. And you know what? She was right. Because I went right back to MOA that afternoon. Back to the comfort, the convenience, the engineered experience. So is MOA actually the best mall in the world? After spending 9 hours total across 2 days here, talking to dozens of people, getting lost twice and finding my way back, here's my take. MOA isn't the biggest mall in the world, that's Iran Mall. It's not the most luxurious, Dubai's got gold vending machines. It's not even the most technologically advanced, some Chinese malls have facial recognition payment systems. But it might be the most human. Dubai Mall feels like walking through a climate-controlled museum of excess. You're aware you're in a mall every second. Mall of America has more brands and more entertainment, but it's exhausting, pure sensory overload designed to keep you spending. MOA found this strange balance between commerce and community, between progress and tradition, between global brands and local identity. I spent 9 hours here across 2 days and never felt that mall exhaustion you get in America, that drained, overstimulated, I need to leave now feeling. You know what I mean? And I think I finally figured out why. Because it's designed for living, not just shopping. The chapel isn't a gimmick, it's an acknowledgement that people need spiritual space. The bayfront isn't just Instagram bait, it's free public access to water and sunset in a crowded city. The ice rink isn't just entertainment, it's a place where families build memories that have nothing to do with buying things. The study spaces, the walking paths for seniors, the concert venue, all of it says we know you're human beings with needs beyond consumption. Here's what MOA taught me about the future of retail. 1. Experience beats luxury. People don't just want stuff anymore, they want memories, stories, moments they'll remember. They figured that out before it became a trend. 2. Community beats convenience. Yes, you could order everything in this mall online. But you can't order the feeling of running into old friends, or your kid's face when they see ice for the first time, or the shared silence of a sunset over the bay with strangers who feel like neighbors. 3. Adaptation beats tradition. An ice rink in a tropical country sounds insane until you realize it's exactly what people crave, the impossible made possible. That's creative problem solving driven by understanding your community. 4. Access beats exclusivity. The reason MOA works is because it's designed for everyone. The movie tickets are cheap. The food options span every budget. The public spaces are actually public. In America, we've built malls that signal you don't belong here unless you can afford it. MOA says everyone belongs. And 5. Flexibility beats rigidity. MOA isn't just a mall, it's a concert venue, a chapel, a park, a study hall, a senior center, a tourist destination. It refuses to be just one thing. And maybe that's the secret. Maybe the malls dying in America aren't failing because of Amazon, they're failing because we forgot malls could be places people actually want to be, not just places they have to go. I keep thinking about something Maria the teacher told me. In the Philippines we have a saying, Bahay Kubo. It means nipa hut. It's about simplicity and community. But when it's too hot, when the storms come, you need stronger shelter. MOA is like a modern Bahay Kubo. It's shelter, but it still has the spirit of gathering, of neighbors, of life happening together. She smiled. Americans forgot how to build that. You made shopping about speed. We made it about time. Shopping about time. That phrase rattled around my head for hours. Because she's right. When's the last time you went to a mall in America and lost track of time in a good way? Not because you were stressed or overstimulated, but because you were actually enjoying being there. For most of us, never. We time our mall visits like military operations. Get in, get what you need, get out. Here, time moves differently. It expands. People arrive at 10 a.m. and leave at 10 p.m. and don't feel like they wasted a day. They feel like they lived one. But I want your take on this. Here's my challenge for you. Would you rather shop at a luxurious but soulless mall, all marble and designer logos and silence? Or a place like MOA that feels alive even if it's more chaotic, more crowded, more messy? And be completely honest with me in the comments. Do you think America could even build something like this anymore? Or have we lost that community-first mindset? Have we optimized efficiency so hard that we forgot how to create spaces where people actually want to spend time together? I'm genuinely curious because I've been back in the States for 3 days now and I went to a mall yesterday just to compare. It felt dead. Sterile. Like a mausoleum for capitalism. Half the stores were closed. The people there looked miserable. Everyone walking fast, eyes down, earbuds in, avoiding eye contact. And I couldn't stop thinking about the families ice skating. About the seniors doing their morning walks. About the chapel full of people finding peace between purchasing. About Rico and his conflicted feelings about progress. About Maria's phrase, shopping about time. Drop your answer below. And if you've actually been to a MOA, tell me what I missed because I know 9 hours only scratched the surface of this place. Because next week I'm going deep into those traditional pay-link markets, the ones that MOA might be slowly killing. And I'm going to ask the uncomfortable question, is this progress or is it something we'll regret? I'm going to talk to the vendors who are barely surviving, the ones who refuse to move to malls, who believe something essential is being lost. And I'm going to try to answer whether we can have both, whether there's a way forward that honors the old while embracing the new, or if that's just naive thinking. The truth is way more complicated than you think. And honestly, I don't know the answer yet. Maybe you'll help me figure it out.